Hello, ladies. Mabel, you don't have to sit on top of Martha. There's another bed over there. So, go on. I'm going to be making beet soup or borscht for dinner, and the first step is pulling up some beets. There's a good one. And some of these beet tops are going to go to the chickens, and some are going to go into a stir fry. I also just pulled a couple of carrots for the soup, and I'm also picking some dill, fresh dill for the soup, and what I don't have is celery and potatoes. We're all out of that, so I'm going to go to Dan's farm. One of the things that I really love about coming to Dan's farm is that, one, it's close. The drive here is really beautiful. It's down a road that I really love. The things here aren't organic, but they're unsprayed and they're grown here. And I like to support the local farm. And it's just fun. It's fun to come here and get the things that I didn't grow or I have run out of. And it's just like one of those pleasant glimmers in my day that I like to participate in. And yeah, so I'm going in to get some potatoes and some celery for the beet soup tonight. So to start with the beet soup, I have carrots, celery, onion, potatoes, and beets. And I'm going to add salt and pepper and dill. And I had already browned some prime rib beef bones that are going to add a lot of flavor to the soup. And then I'm just adding enough water just to cover the vegetables. And then I add some apple cider vinegar and honey. It's kind of a sweet and sour thing. Bring it to the boil and then turn it down right away and let it simmer until everything is soft and tender. I'm most excited, I think, to eat the soup with this sourdough bread and our homemade butter. Things are really slowing down in the garden right now, and I do actually love this time of the year where the boxes are being put to rest. It's all part of the cycle. Things receding, resting. Hello, Midnight. Just want to go around the garden with you and show you what's left. In this bed, there's still lots of kale, and it's going to keep coming for quite a while. And we'll even be able to eat it in the springtime unless we have a super hard frost, which doesn't usually happen here. Got some rosemary, some chives that I'm going to cut down a little bit, sage excuse me, that I transplanted from somewhere else, and some echinacea. a little tiny little beet and fennel in the corner there. Alright, so there's the giant kale. I think it's red boar, but I'm not sure. Not sure that I'm going to grow this kind again, because I mean, it is nice. It's nice and crunchy and good in recipes, but it's not my favorite kale. More parsley. Lots of leeks. Lettuce still going strong. This is the fall lettuce that we planted. A little leek forest. To give this broccoli a little bit of a support, but this is the winter broccoli, purple sprouting, which is, I think, my favorite type of broccoli. So cute, and it just keeps on coming on as you cut off one little section, another section comes up. I see somebody else has been munching on it as well. And this is the garlic bed. We had a lot of wind last night. The broom has fallen over. There's still lots of mint to gather in that little side bed by the chicken coop. This is a rock rose. The bloom's really pretty in the springtime. And we have the apple mint, which is, I think, my favorite. And then we have some spearmint as well. A little bit of lemon balm. And in this perennial bed are the artichokes. One of them has to be moved out. Two of them is too many in one bed. They're squashed. And then we have some agastache that's fallen over. There's another one over here that didn't fall over. Two different types of thyme, rosemary, and chives. So great to have chives in the garden because you always have a little bit of that onion thing going on. And it'll probably last, these will last until Christmas, I think, and then they'll probably recede back. This bed needs a lot more soil. It really compacted down. All the little calendulas sprouted up again. They throw so much seed, so I know there's going to be lots of free sprouting calendula next year. And there's asparagus in here and perennial arugula. I'm going to add another one, no, maybe two more asparaguses in here. I'm growing some cabbages, winter cabbage. We'll see how it does. They're starting to form, but you know, it might be too cold too soon for them to come into anything. And a different type of cabbage here. We really do have a lot of munchers. It actually is still quite a bit of food in the garden. So there's some more perennial arugula. There's chard. There's beets, which I'm using up, probably going to use up in the next little while. A couple more leeks. And some celery root, which I use in soups. You can use the little stalks in soups too, but you're really growing it for the root. Let me see if I can show you. Exciting! There they are. And in this last bed, one lonely little surviving calendula. And still quite a few carrots. I pulled some out yesterday to make with dinner. And yeah. A little bit of borage, a few flowers, some winter beets, and a lonely pea that has planted itself. I don't think it's going to come to anything, but here it is, enjoying its life. Little elderberry that didn't do very well on the other side of the garden, and hopefully it'll grow into something big here. I've given it some compost and some straw. I have a bunch of work to do here. What are you doing up there? So between the kale, the chard, the leeks, the carrots, the beets, and herbs, and all the different greens, you can just do so much. As long as you have greens in the house, I mean in the garden, you can just create so many meals with just a few green leaves and an onion and some herbs. A little bit goes a long way. And all the currant bushes, black, red, yeah, just black and red, that we were growing. The red one didn't do well and it got kind of squashed. Actually, all these got kind of pushed back against the fence with the pumpkin that I decided was a smart idea to grow here, which I'm glad for the pumpkins, but wasn't so great for the bushes. And then what else was here? There was, oh yeah, there was a giant cosmos, the huge cosmos. Anyway, things got pushed back against the fence. So next year I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let the currant bushes have. Oh yeah, and there's still dill. Lots of dill. One of my favorite herbs. And when you have greens in the garden, I mean, the greens just really supplement meals so beautifully. The hill really did so beautifully this year. The septic bed mound. It needs a lot of editing. There's a lot of things that I want to take out. I mean, they'll come back in the spring, but I just want to do a really nice cleanup. But it's been super beautiful and amazing for the bees, and amazing to look at as well. And these California poppies have been going strong from spring until now. They just keep coming out, and they're so gorgeous. And the grasses on the septic mound, unsurprisingly, have grown massive. They're so tall and so beautiful. I think my neighbor's having a fire. Bonfire. Hello friends, blessed Samhain. I wanted to say thank you for being here, for supporting my tiny little channel, which I'm hoping to grow. I love sharing my garden and my home and my lifestyle with you, and it's a magical day today, so I wanted to say hello. And again, thank you for being in this community. All your views and your comments and your subscribes mean so much to me. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. And again, blessed Samhain.